Alright everyone, good evening and hello and welcome back to my survival Minecraft world. Today I don't have much of a plan, but what I wanted to do today was stream and play with shaders on. Now, as any of you who are following this channel knows, I usually prefer playing without shaders. But I'm trying out the BSL shaders tonight, and let's just see how it goes. Frame rates are a little bit down, but that should not be too bad once this rain stops, because rain generally does seem to, well, push the frame rates down. Now I was thinking that for tonight I'm going to need to go down to the storage room and start maybe just decorating a little bit. Exactly what I want to do, I have no idea yet, but I think we can start off with a few hoppers, or no, well, covering a few hoppers, that is. We can start off with a little bit of a composter situation, I think. So let's go down and see if we can maybe increase frame rates a little bit by adding a few composters above the hoppers. So I don't know how many we might need. It could be quite a few. But I'm thinking if I maybe try to cover up, let's say, half the hoppers, just to see if that makes any sort of difference. But then on second thoughts, I don't really know whether or not we should. Because even though the frame rate is a lot lower than expected down here, I kind of feel that it's okay. Good evening, my Turkish friend. You're not late, I am late. I just started the stream like 4 minutes ago, so you are definitely not late. So tonight I'm trying to play with shaders, and as you would know, usually I don't do the shader thing, but I thought it is weekend, it is Friday evening, so let's go a little bit wild and, well, play with these BSL shaders. And it does look different. I don't know, you're going to have to tell me what you think. Why do you say the shader is bad? You can't be coming with such short answers. Is it lagging that bad? I don't feel the lag. Well, if you prefer, I can disable them. And, well, that doubles the frame rate anyway. So, alright. How long did this last? 6 minutes with shaders? I think that must be a new high for me. But yes, I agree. Let's not do the shader thing. You know what? I should honestly try to pronounce your name more frequently so that I can actually get used to it and actually figure out exactly how to pronounce it. You said it's the LE sounds like lever, so Suleiman. I don't know. Yes. Anyway, as I was saying, personally, I've grown to really like the vanilla Minecraft look recently. I have played with shaders for a very long time, but for the last couple of months, I actually started enjoying playing without shaders a lot more. I don't know, maybe it's just a phase I'm going through, but it is what it is. Alright, so I need a few ideas here. Because I do want to do a little bit of decorating in here, but not a lot. I'm just thinking these walls, what can I do on these walls to just give it a little bit more, well, personality? I was thinking of maybe let me just see something. Well, where's my stuff? Just grab a little bit of stuff and see something. I can certainly put stairs in there. Like, you mean something like this, where you put the stairs in there to just give it a little bit of depth, make it look like there's actually missing bricks in the wall. I want to see. This they don't want to do what I want it to do. Yes, obviously I don't want to do too much. What I was thinking is if we could maybe put stairs in here So I really don't know how to... Is that too much? Should we maybe do something like this in here? I talked way too professional today on Discord. It felt off. It affected a friend badly. I sent him random shorts to balance reality. Alright, but look, you said you spoke too professionally, but I don't really understand what you mean by that. We'd rather do something like this on the walls. As I was thinking of maybe bringing a little bit of color into this area, but then also I don't know whether I should bring color in here, because it's just a storage room. Okay, well, the way you talked today on Discord didn't really, well, I'm a funny person when it comes to things like that, so it really didn't bother me at all. I didn't think anything of it. Let me just, I want to push this back up. Alright, yes, like I say, it didn't really bother me at all or anything like that. But then my wife always tells me I've got a very, very funny sense of things. A very funny way of looking at things. And, well, I usually, maybe I look at what is being said and not exactly how it's being said, if that makes any sense. You see, placing these flowers in here just doesn't make sense at all. And then I'm thinking, I talked like I have knowledge about advanced building. The Lapis Tower will not be affected by the resin infection, but it will be the most affected at the same time. Look, you talked about like you have a lot of knowledge about advanced building. I didn't, well, to be honest, I didn't feel like you are, saying anything in the sense of like maybe like you were not saying anything that indicated that you think you know better than other people. So I think personally, I think what you said and how you said it is perfectly fine. Don't beat yourself up about it. Alright, I think I might just do a little something like this. Just put these heads down randomly and leave it like that. It just gives a little bit of extra personality to the room. But I think that'll be good enough for an extra touch. Maybe if we really want to, we can place a few lanterns in between just to light it up a little bit better. I think that will work. Listen, my friend, it's Friday evening. We are having a nice little chat in the stream. You are most welcome to explain your thoughts. While I try and figure out what I'm doing here, you're most welcome to share your thoughts and, well, we can have a discussion. That's why we are here. Yeah, let me need to just clear out some of these blocks from my inventory. Not going to use that. I don't think we're gonna need that either. Alrighty. So anyway, I think I said it last night as well, I do feel like I might be coming down with something like the flu or something. My throat is really scratchy and I need to drink a lot of water to keep talking, because it's really just not feeling normal, if I can put it that way. So if I'm not talking as much as I usually do, please just keep that into consideration. It's not bad enough that I don't want to stream, but it is a little bit irritating, if I can say it like that. It's definitely not feeling 100%. One of those. You can maybe put another one of these up here. Not there. Up there. Really? And then... oh, let's put a horse head on this last one. Now the horse head's really... I don't know, does it look like a horse? I don't know whether it really does look like a horse head, but anyway, that's what it is named. So you say a bit of mint, a lemon peel, cinnamon mixed by hot water. I don't exactly have any of those things in my house. I absolutely do not like cinnamon. so I will never have some cinnamon in the house. I do have a lemon, and I am drinking lemon water. I do put a slice of lemon in my water just to freshen it up. And then, well, mint. I also don't have mint. I should actually start growing that again. I used to have a little mint plant, and I could always just go and pick some whenever I feel like I need it. All right, let me finish with this. And I think once I'm done with these, I really don't feel like I should add anything more to this room. I mean, number one, we will not be in this room all the time. In fact, I think we will spend very little time in this room unless we come down here to collect stone blocks for a build or something. And I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to add these, then add a few stairs to the walls just to make it look like there's missing bricks, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. And then I think then we can call it good. As I did, however, consider redoing the roof. Maybe use quartz stairs in the roof. I don't know what you think about that. On the one hand, I mean, quartz will look a little bit brighter, which can be either a good or a bad thing. Try to remove this one. I think this one shouldn't be here. Oh, I don't really have enough more beds. Oh, I've got these as well, which I haven't used yet. Let's go with salmonade. Put another glow squid head, and we'll put the iron golem head in the middle. Alright, I forgot some ingredients to the mixture. This is a recipe that has become famous by a singer known by most countries. Yes, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. It's really effective against the cold and the flu. Well, the roof being slanted, because there was a lot of empty space here above. And so I did that. Like I said, let's not worry about it too much. We're not going to be seeing this all the time. And no, I'm definitely not going to rebuild it either. Like I said, I was thinking of replacing the pale wood with quartz, and I'm definitely not going to do that. I don't think the purpose of this room under the ground justifies even all the time I've spent in it so far, but I had to do it because we needed to get our start making progress on getting the storage situation sorted out. So I just needed to do this so that I've got somewhere to store all my stone type blocks, which is not on the surface and in random chests standing around everywhere. Now I should probably continue emptying those chests out. What did I get today? A feather. Just put these away. Yes, as I said, I should probably continue clearing these chests out so that we can get rid of them. I don't want to do too much at a time because I'm afraid since the blocks are lying there in the water waiting for the hopper to pick them up, I'm just scared that they might wait too long and then at some point they might despawn. I don't know, I think what's the limit? It takes 5 minutes for a block to despawn. I don't want to risk that. So this one I could put another one down here. Just to break it up a little bit. Oh well. This is going to have to do. Alright, now this place is much brighter and actually let's just go around and replace a few of these walls with stairs just to have a little bit of variation in the depth. Don't want to do too much of it, and I definitely didn't want to do that either. But if we do a little something like this, then if I do that one, will the stairs work? The stairs isn't going to work there because of the wall. I need the walls to connect. But behind this one, I think if this wall doesn't connect, that's not going to bother me all that much. Just like that. This one. All right. I think we are getting there. Maybe this one we can put the stair in this way. Just giving a little bit of depth and variation. but not too much. So, and maybe one more right over here. You can put it upside down. Alright, I think this is pretty much it for this area. I'm not going to be decorating too much more here. Now I do need to find a way. You have bad news? I'm so sorry to hear that. What's the bad news? You're too lazy to rebuild the tower to make it clean from the infection? Oh, I don't know how that is bad news. I mean, look, you're playing on your phone, right? I would be too lazy to do anything playing on a phone. Alrighty. Let me see. I'm probably going to have to just empty my inventory again. Just get rid of some of these things. And then I need to start working on a... Well, I think we are done down here for now. So let me just switch on that iron farm. And while I'm at it, let's just grab these. So that there's a little bit more space for iron to collect. And I'm just going to throw these poppies in there to make a little bit of bone meal. The iron we can just make iron blocks with to store. So iron, I really don't need the iron farm to be running at the moment because I've basically got a barrel full of iron blocks, and then this one is, well, we've used a lot for the hoppers down underground, but this one is also got quite a bit of iron in. So I really don't need the iron farm to be running, but I mean for now we can maybe just fill up a second barrel and then we can switch it off for a bit. Alright, that's not the reason. I just don't want to make a long cylinder again. You can just replace the resin for stone bricks and place a normal creaking heart instead of building a big one. Alright, but listen, what did you say? How big is that tower? Because I can't remember. I think you spoke something about 27 blocks. And how high is it? Right, I need to just get these things out of my inventory. 32 by 20, 20 long and 32 radius. Okay, but that's not all that big. Alright, well, 32 radius. I think this is about 32. Don't you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, this is roughly about 32 by 32, this hole. So I'm thinking that tower might need to be a little smaller than 32. But don't worry about it, because when I get to it, I can always adjust it and see how I can best fit it into the world. Alright, so one thing that I do know is that it's going to be a little bit of a tedious process getting all the stone blocks into the system down there. I don't know the shortcut key for throwing these stacks out, because I mean if I use C, it will throw them out one by one, which is going to take even longer than just dropping them into this chute. Now let's just go and finish that one chest up. Then I would like to start thinking about I want to start building something up here. This something is going to be a storage room for our valuables, gold, diamonds, iron, and so on. But I haven't thought of a good shape for it. Now I don't really want to build a tower, because I am going to build a tower for the librarians, which I want to bring over here. And then also I need to figure out what sort of build palette. If it was a square, it will be 9 by 9. So that's about a quarter of the size of this thing. Alright, that might work. We might need to make it a little bit bigger, but we will see about that when we get to it. So do you have any good ideas for a build palette? Should I go with stone and stone type blocks, or you have any thoughts on a little build palette for this building? I'm thinking maybe it needs to be something like a sort of a warehouse sort of build, and then we can use maybe cobblestone for the foundation, and then stone bricks, andesite. I think that's what I've got the most of, so maybe I should just go with that and use that. Would need to see about how big I'm going to make it. Build a big stone chest or a big barrel. Look, I've thought of that, but that's just not going to fit in. It's not going to fit into what I've got in mind for this area. I would like to have it just fit in some way. So what I was thinking is of using stone bricks. Let's lay this out here quickly and see how this will work, because this is going to be really just a big warehouse sort of build. And 5 there, 1 2 3. Something like this. Should I go? Let's go maybe one more section. Thinking this is a pretty good size for this. Well, it's actually small for a warehouse. I might have to extend it a little bit further, because this is going to be quite small for a warehouse. Let's just use all the space we've got. Alright, I think this is going to be a little bit of a better size for the warehouse. Then I should probably decide on how high I want to make this thing. See, this is the problem with not planning the builds in advance. Ow. Need to stop doing that. And now you see, I've always said I'm bad at fighting in this game. Another thing I'm bad at is parkour and jumping. I'm still trying to figure out why did you count the hole's size for the small tower. No, because you said it's 32 radius. So I thought you meant it's like 32 blocks from one side to the other side. But I realize my mistake. You meant like 32 blocks all around. So I was just being, well, I don't know. I was just maybe not thinking clearly. Let's just put it at that. Now I can actually just do this like so. I don't need to be jumping all over the place and falling and breaking my ankles to build this thing. Alright, I'm going to need a lot more stone for this, and it might not look good straight away, but I've learned that I need to trust the process. Basically, can I make some of these? Yes, so as I'm saying, I need to learn to trust the process with these builds. Because the stone builds usually doesn't look good from the get-go, but once you start adding a roof and start adding the walls and things, it does become a little more aesthetically pleasing. Main tower has to be at least double the size of the small tower because it will be a combination of all four. Yes, and this is going to be the size of the main tower. This hole I'm digging out here, that's the size of the main tower. It's going to be huge. And it's probably going to take me 1,000 in-game days to complete. Which is why I need to vary it off with a few other builds. A few smaller builds. Because if I try to do that tower all in one go, I can tell you now, I am going to get a little bit of burnout, and I simply might not be able to finish it. And then building a little warehouse like this is just a little bit of a sort of a build which you don't need to think about too much. The only thing I need to think about is placing the blocks at the right place, it would seem. Which, as per usual, I am pretty bad at. So this warehouse I'm building here is just going to be a place where I can store all my items other than the stone blocks which we are storing underground. this is... I think this is a decent size. I think this is going to be a decent size for this warehouse. Now I just need to... Because on the... really? Tell me honestly, have you ever seen somebody as bad at this game than I am? Because it feels like I'm pretty much falling off all over the place. How's this look? Okay, wait, let me catch up. I know you like kind of vanilla Minecraft, but I recommend you use a schematic mod so you can design stuff in creative and replace in survival. If not counting me, my friend, he asked me how to make a stick. Listen, at least the stick is one of the recipes that I can remember, because I am really so bad at remembering recipes. But I can give you a letter right now and promise you at least I know how to build a stick or how to craft a stick. And besides, you don't even need to really craft a stick unless you need a lot of them. Because if you chop down trees, they do drop sticks as well, every now and then. How high did I make that one? It's only 4 blocks tall. Would seem that way. And yes, you were talking about the building in creative and then bringing it in with the schematic. Look, I've just never been quite a fan of doing that. People that do use that, I mean, that's fine. Everybody can play the way that they want to play. But I prefer to just figure out the build as I'm going along, because otherwise it feels like you have to do the work twice. I'm a bit lazy for that. You get what I'm saying? That's 0.1% of knowing everything in Minecraft. Yes, and you know what? With all the new content Mojang has been adding to this game lately, it is becoming a little bit tougher to remember, like, everything. I'm thinking just maybe doing this, the just to have it look a little bit different every year, every now and then. Should have known I'm going to do that at some point. Another one. Oh, you can hear the zombie and the villager. Because when I was building this iron farm down underground, my original iron farm was up here. And at some point, well, right before I went to that bone meal setup over there, I moved this iron farm underground, and for the first few days it wasn't making any iron, and then the zombie got to the villagers and infected the villagers and everything. So I thought about just getting this one back up and going. So I brought more villagers and another zombie over, and they are still stuck under here. So I never switched it on because the iron farm down underground did actually start working and is now working pretty well. So these guys are just stuck there until I can find something else for them to do. So as you can see, this iron farm is working pretty well. I mean, we've already, in the time we've been streaming, since we went up above ground, we've already got 2.5 stacks of iron, which isn't too bad. And somehow I know practically everything and more about Minecraft. Jeb's first mob, the squid, used 90% of the code of a cow so you could milk it. Oh, that's interesting. That's really an interesting little fact or tidbit. Naming a rabbit toast will make it a special texture based on the developer's rabbit. I must try that. I do have name tags, but I don't have any rabbits close by. So if we find rabbits, remind me of that. I want to try it. Then a pillager named Johnny will attack everything not a illager based on a TV show. Yes, I know about naming a pillager Johnny. That one I've never done it, but I have seen it. I forgot to make you sit. Come on. But, well, we are going to be working up here above ground, so I think you can just come over to this bed, Bella. Come on, come on. Okay, well, just sit there then if you want. But yes, as I've been saying, there's so many new features in Minecraft, and like you know, I've been over the last, well, how long I've played Minecraft for almost 14 years now, and most of that 14 years I have been playing modded Minecraft. So this is actually the first time in a very, very long time that I am actually playing kind of vanilla Minecraft. It's obviously not 100% completely vanilla, but the mods that I do use are more to, well, now my blocks are despawning just as I climb up here. The mods that I do use is mostly just aesthetic. Doesn't really add much to the game and really doesn't change much of the way that the base game works. Grum has the same effect as dinner bone on entities, and yes, both of those accounts in Minecraft it's upside down. Should I continue with the uselessness but interesting facts? You are more than welcome, my man. You are more than welcome to continue with them. But maybe give me a little bit of time after posting a fact so that I can read it and tell you whether I know it or not. Walls. I need to think about walls. While I do that, I think I am going to bring the grass up here, but for now let's just make these pillars go down to the base, to ground level. And I just need to fill this in. I don't want to fall into that hole unexpectedly. Alright, then for these walls, I'm thinking a mixture of stone and andesite. Just get a few pieces. Andesite and stone. And I'm thinking of basically just mixing it in like that to just break the texture a little bit. And this, and then I'm thinking for windows, can we use iron bars? Just like that. Okay. Okay, there's a low chance you will know these ones. The sound of a ghost is just the sound of a developer's cat waking up. It's not edited. You know what? That one I actually do know. I have seen that somewhere. I think I've seen it somewhere. Don't ask me where, but that one I actually am aware of. This, and then what's the next one? The sound of the phantom is a developer's kid crying with a filter. Oh, that's interesting. That one I wouldn't have guessed that. Now, I wonder what made the developer decide to record his kid crying. Guardians are mechanical, shown in the official Minecraft biology book. Okay, Guardians are mechanical, shown in the official Minecraft biology book. Alright, that's interesting. Okay, so, I know there's a few other viewers on the stream at the moment. So any of you guys just listening, watching the stream in the background, any of you got any opinions on these facts? As I said, a lot of them I do know, or at least I have heard about, but some of them are really interesting. I'm definitely not surprised by any of them, because this game is, well, this game is interesting, otherwise we wouldn't all be playing it. Next one, the Elder Guardian is affecting your mind, not affecting your physically. That also kind of makes sense. So in other words, the fact that you get mining fatigue, it's not physical, it's just mental. All right, let me be done with my little water break and go on. So while you are looking up or remembering facts about the game, what do you think of this wall design so far? Just be mindful that you have to trust the process. It might not look like much right now, but we are going to make it look interesting. I just need to get the base wall in. Before we do any fancy decorative work. Okay, there's an official Minecraft joke book. Well, it looks like a prison. Yes, it's kind of... Oh, I almost just stepped off this. And that would have, even with feather falling, that would definitely have killed me. Alright, yes. It does look like a prison. The whole idea is that it needs to look like solid and impenetrable, because that's where I'm going to store all my valuable loot. All my diamonds and my iron, my gold, all of that is going to be stored in here. So it needs to look like solid, and the idea is that it needs to look kind of like a prison. But we will make it look good once we are done. The main objective at the moment is just getting somewhere, getting a place where I can store all my chests so that they can just not be scattered all over the world like this. This just doesn't look good. Have you ever had a chest monster like this? While I'm standing around here, let's just see if we can get some more blocks into the system. I do believe the ones we dropped in earlier should be done by now. Alrighty. Let me finish building my prison here. Minecraft's YouTube channel is just plain funny. You would expect a big company to be serious, but their posts are just silly. Alright, to be honest, I don't think I've ever watched anything on the official Minecraft YouTube channel. Maybe I should just check it out at some point. But honestly speaking, I've never, I don't know, I've never had the urge or the draw to actually check out their YouTube channel. Alright, and then another thing, it's looking like a prison, but we've got all this iron, and I don't know what else to do with the iron, so I might just as well use it as windows with iron bars. I mean, if not, why not? Alright, then this one. So I'm just trying to like sort of mix the blocks and blend it in so it doesn't look too much like the same thing all over, which I guess it does look like the same thing all over, but it's kind of meant to do that as well. Let's do that. Videos are serious, but shortened posts are just silly. Narrator tried to take over Minecraft but failed, shown in a video. I think I must really check out their channel. It sounds like there could be a few interesting bits on there. I think definitely worth a few minutes of my time. Even though I really don't have a lot of spare time to spend on it, but look, between work and streaming and videos and things, I do still get a fair bit of time to watch YouTube. But mostly when I watch YouTube, I just watch other creators to try and get a little bit of inspiration, you know? There's some people out there that really makes super awesome builds. One day maybe I'll be able to also make awesome builds, but I don't think it, honestly, I don't think I'm doing too badly. I think these builds do really look interesting. I mean, I really do like this little house here, which I made with pale oak logs, stripped pale oak logs. It's really a nice house, I think. And well, the 500-day map, I honestly don't think I've made much changes on the surface, except maybe now this area is going to look a little bit different now. But other than that, I haven't made much changes on this area. So that's why I was thinking it's time for me to just start being above ground and actually try to build something. The sniffer used to dig up beds, not items, the blocks. Really? But what would be the point of that? I mean, How many beds do you need? I do like the flower seeds that the sniffers dig up. Which reminds me, we might need to go on a little adventure at some point, so that I can try and find a sniffer egg or two, so that we can get our own sniffers. Look, I have watched a few of Mogswam's videos. I really do like them, but you know what? When I'm watching YouTube, when I'm watching Minecraft content on YouTube, I do like watching like the big guys, the big creators, but I also do like watching smaller creators as well. I think sometimes the smaller creators are overlooked, and some of them really do have awesome builds that they're making. So one of my favorite creators to watch for inspiration is BOO. I think he's just got such a way of explaining his builds, explaining how and why he does what he does. So that's been a lot of inspiration. And I also think with BOO, like in Hermitcraft Season 10, he basically used mostly like plain blocks. He didn't go all too intricate with the different colored blocks. He used a lot of neutral colors, and those builds actually came out really nice. Alright, I need a little bit of iron. To make some more iron bars. Oh, and that's probably way too many. All right, Suleiman. You should have a lovely evening. I'm still going to maybe stream for another hour or so, just to try and finish as much of this warehouse jail build as I can. But you should have a nice little nap, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. If I stream tomorrow, it's going to be if I stream tomorrow, it will be a hardcore on Twitch. I think over the weekend I'm going to take a little bit of a break from this world. We're going to start a new hardcore world, and I'm going to try and survive more than 4 or 11 days this time. Because the first time I only made it to day 11, and the second time, well, that Enderman got me on day 4. So this time we are going to try and survive a little longer than that. I might just change my approach and maybe go for villages first this time and not caving. You know what? You guys are alright. As long as you don't bring creepers along, I can deal with you guys. Even though it's a little upsetting how many of you there are. Alright. Oh, I was just for a moment there sitting thinking that my background music has actually stopped playing. But as you can hear, it started back up. Anybody in the chat just drop me a message and let me know how is the audio. So I do have a new microphone, and saying new, I've only had this one for about a week. I'm still trying to dial in all the settings and everything to make it sound good. But just let me know in the comments if you would. How's the levels between the microphone and the background music and game audio? I mean, in my headphones it sounds alright, but I think I'm using different settings for the stream than in my headphones. And then also just tell me how you think how the microphone is sounding. I'm still, like I say, I'm still trying to dial in the settings. I think it's definitely sounding better than when I just got it. But I think it is a process. And I'm not a sound engineer or anything, so it might take me a little while to dial it in perfectly. But the only way for me to really get the settings spot on is with your feedback. I mean, if I listen, if I watch the streams back during the day, I try to listen to the audio and make notes as to what I can try to change to just improve the audio quality of the microphone. But getting feedback from any of you guys does help a lot. So, I mean, what I think sounds good does not necessarily always sound good to everybody else. Alright, I think this is starting to come along nicely. Next thing would be for me to start figuring out a roof design for this place. Now, I was thinking something that goes up a little bit steeper on the sides and then just rounds out on the top, almost like the barn roof over there, but just maybe a little bit more rounded out at the top than that specific roof. Now I need to see how I'm going to do that. And as I said, the main purpose of this building is going to be for us to get rid of all these chests just standing around here, filling up all the space that I could actually be using for maybe having a little nice little garden or something. Definitely not for a garden made of chests. So these things, anybody new to the stream, I'm just dropping all these things into this little chute so that that it can go down. And I almost jump scared myself with this mob head right here, because as I was falling in here, that just looked like something that shouldn't be there. But anyway, so we are dropping all those items into the chute so that they can be auto sorted into these chests down here. And each of these storage modules can hold, well, if I remember, just over 21,000 blocks. And I'm pretty sure, except for stone and deep slate, that will pretty much be sufficient. So the stone and the deep slate, I do have some extra bulk storage here at the back. And so I do believe we are going to have enough storage for our needs. Now, so far, only this light has come on. So this light basically just tells me we've got plenty of the specific item. And I need to maybe at some point change this, because I don't like the fact that the block is actually covering the text at the bottom. It seems that it's only covering the text at the bottom though, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll figure something out. But let's get back to the surface and try and see how we are going to maybe start getting a little bit of a roof on here. Which is I don't have much of an idea what I want to use for the roof. On the one hand, I would maybe like to have a little let's just do this for the roof trim and see how I like that. Just going to grab a little bit more of this. Then we can just go and do a little part of it so that I can see whether or not it's going to work for me. That's not going to work. I have to go this side. So I do just want to put a little bit of a roof in here. And just see how I feel about this. And maybe do something like that. So maybe here we start flattening it out a little bit. This is 1, 2, 3. Then we probably need to start going down with it. Okay, Bella, come on, let's go to bed. Nothing, no gifts today. You're a good cat, but not always. So let's just have a look at this. Is this going to work? And then if it's going to work, what sort of block can I use for the roof? Because I'm thinking I might just stick with the deep slate roofs. But I think I am off with one block. I don't think, I know I'm definitely off with the block. So let's go up and fix that. Now if I'm going to use quartz for the trim of this roof, I'm probably going to need to go and buy a lot more quartz because I'm not going to have nearly enough. But let's just see, let's just fix that little part. This one will need to go up one more. Is this now more centered? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is more where this roof needs to be. So then there needs to be a, let's just do it from this side. I think that will be the easiest. Ah. One, two, one. Okay. Another one on top there, like so, and then I'm not gonna run all the way. So that's 2 with a bottom. So I need one at the bottom there as well. Then this one needs to be 3. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, because that doesn't look right. Alright, but we will come and sort that out. So it's one, then 2 solid blocks with 1 slab on top. Three, and that must be 2 full blocks in a slab. Alright, so one, two, and a slab. Geez, I'm so... Why can I not... do this? Because this isn't looking right. One, then it's one, then it's... Okay. I'm so confused. So this one is 2 and a slab on top, that's right. Then you've got halfway above, that's right. Then you've got full and a slab, that's right. Then you've got basically 2 full starting underneath. Alright, so I think it's like that. Is that looking the same? Yes, it does, kinda. I just need to put another slab in right there. So there needs to be a slab. Then let's just see what this guy has to offer. And this is absolutely nothing that I need. So I know these guys sometimes have useless trades, but it feels like the further I get into the game, the more useless their trades are. Alright, let's see. No, where did you come from? So this drop chute is also not working perfectly. Because I seem to not be able to drop things into there. Not effectively anyway. That's better. Yola. I'm starting to understand why people just do what I'm about to do. Because these guys can be so bloody irritating. Now I really didn't want to do that. I haven't killed many of them. Let's see. Statistics. Mobs. Where's the wandering trader? Oh, that has been the first one. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That's the first one. Now I'm upset with myself. Now I'm really upset. Because why did I have to go and kill that guy? Well, he was being a pain, but I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Why didn't anybody stop me? Was that... Wow. That's almost as bad as me unaliving myself. And now I haven't had one death in this world yet. But I'm almost considering just jumping off here and ending myself and getting my first death in this world. Because why did I just have to, after 846 days, why did I have to go and kill my first wandering trader now? That's upsetting. Oh my word. Alright, but that's enough of that. Let's concentrate and... Well, in order to do this, let me drop off a few of these things. That should go in there, that should go in there, more that can go in there. Seeds and crops. Just put everything away. Grab a few goodies to go and trade with. Oh, do I take the iron? Nah, let's just take emeralds with me. And just go and visit our little trader villages. Come on, horsey. We're going for a little ride. These ones won't be able to give me quartz. But over here where we started on day 1 or 2 or maybe 5. Over here we've got a few villagers that can trade us what we need. Now let's just see. That alright? That enough emeralds? So I'm just want to grab a few of these quartz blocks so that we can finish that roof trim. I think I've got another one over this side. It's just sad that they are only giving us 12 of each. At least you've reset your trades. You've reset your trades. Have you reset yet? Thank you. That's good. Another one. Thank you, Samuel. Kathleen, thank you so much. I do appreciate you doing business with me. Eddie, you're also wonderful. Thank you very much. And let's see if we are lucky. No, they're probably not going to reset their trades again anytime too soon. But while I'm here, let's just get a few pieces of redstone from Alva as well. The rest of these things I've got plenty. So, and let's see. Are you ready again? No. You? No. Eddie? No. Alright, guys. I'll see you again. I think this should be enough to at least get me going. Sometimes I do feel that this little horsey of mine is a little bit too fast. And I feel that maybe we should get a name for our mule. Anybody in the chat have an interesting name that we can use for our mule? Because I've got a donkey, and donkey's name is just Donkey. But I've got a mule, which I haven't named yet. Now, you see, Donkey is just Donkey. But this little mule here, he doesn't have a name. Old One-Timer. This was the first horse that we actually tamed. And, well, to say that this is a very slow horse is an understatement. I don't even think he can jump 2 blocks. But I didn't want to get rid of him. It was the first horse we tamed in this world, so yes, he is now living his old days out here in this little pen. But anyway, as I said, any of you down in the chat, if you've got an interesting name for the mule, let me know, because I'm still trying to think of a decent name for the mule. And then maybe once it's named, we might use the mule instead of this speedy horse, because this horse is just simply, it feels just too fast for traveling these short distances. But anyway, everyone, let me just quickly go and grab, my water is finished and my throat is really killing me. If you would just please give me a minute or two. Well, not even a minute. Let me just please go and fill up my water. I will be right back with you guys. Alright everyone, thanks for waiting. Now, I do notice there are 5 people currently watching the stream, and I just want to say welcome to one and every one of you, each and every one of you. you are more than welcome to just lurk, play the stream in the background. I do appreciate the support. And feel welcome. This is a safe space. If you do want to say hi in the chat, you're more than welcome. I would appreciate it, but totally, definitely not necessary. You're more than welcome to just sit back and relax and see me try and do something nice. Anyway, we've got the quartz, so let's get back up there and see if we can finish this trim so that we can get the roof in. All right, let's go. All right, so those of you that's been in the stream for a little while, our Turkish friend Suleiman, well, he's been following me. He's probably one of the viewers that's been following this channel since pretty much just after I started. Now, I did upload my first video to YouTube. When was that? Beginning of April 2024? Just over a year and a half back. And, well, he's a little bit of a character once you get to know him. So, it is entertaining, all these facts that he mentioned, that he gave us about Minecraft. A lot of the facts I do know about. A lot of the other ones I do not know about. I've never heard before. I cannot verify how true all the facts is that he has given us, but I think it definitely made for some interesting reading, if I could say that. I mean, I know about Johnny, and I know about Dinnerbone. I think those are pretty obvious. I must maybe, when I take a bit of a break from this build, maybe just experiment with some of them. Maybe go and look for a few things. As I said, at some point I do want to go on a little bit of an adventure. I want to go, and I've never done any of the archaeology stuff in Minecraft, so maybe get myself a brush and go and see if I can find a few shirts, maybe a sniffer egg or two. I think that would be a nice find. But before I can go and find a sniffer, I might need to first figure out where are we going to build a little house for the sniffers. Because that's something that I haven't thought about. Then I'm also thinking our cow farm. Well, that's not really a cow farm, it's just a cow pen. And I've just been, whenever I need some leather, I've just been running over there, killing some cows. The cows on the other side of the barn, though, they are just there living out their days. I'm not going to be slaughtering any of them. They are pretty safe, I think. Well, I say I think because, as you saw earlier, I did just kill, or unalive, my very first wandering trader. And to be honest, I don't know really why I did that. Because I'm not a violent person. And after I've done it, I immediately regretted it. Which is a strange feeling to me. So then this one needs to be a slab with a... Yo, I'm always bad at figuring out roof designs. Anybody else in the chat feel like they struggle with roof designs? As I sure do. And to be honest, I'm not even ashamed to admit it. It's just one of those things. See, so this is just like so. Just a simple roof shape. Is this correct now? I think this is right. Alright, let's do this side as well. Let's just get a few of these in. This in. Then there's one. Then it's two with the slab on top. Then it's slab there with the full block. Slab with a full block, then basically two full blocks. Starting with a slab. Slab, full block, slab. And then we start with the single blocks like that. No. No, 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 no. Something isn't working out. So this one isn't right. So that needs a... Oh, no, no, no. So that needs a slab down there. And a slab on top. Alright, so that one is a slab below, slab on top. And then we start with the... Ow! Now, even though I've got feather falling 3, it's still ow to fall that far down. So this is a block, then it's two slabs, then it's a block. Is that correct? Let's quickly have a look. So that sort of looks the same both sides now, right? I think so. So this is the shape of the roof. I think I'm happy with that. Any opinions? Anything going once? Going twice? We are sticking with it. Alright, now I am going to need to go and make myself a few more slabs. But how many will this? 38 be enough? I believe so. If it's not, we will just run up and down a little bit more. Next thing is that I need to figure out a design for the floor. Which let's think about what we're going to do with the floor while I finish with this slabs up here. So the floor, I do think I want to make maybe like sort of a checkered pattern. Maybe use either one or two different types of logs for it. Now, I don't want to use what is it? I don't want to use pale oak logs. So I think I've used a lot of white in my builds so far. So I don't want to particularly use white. I'm thinking, should we maybe use dark oak? Should we use this mix between dark oak and spruce maybe? Not completely sure. But you know what? Where's the sun? There. Alright. Well, let's think a little bit further, a little bit about it, while I quickly go and get rid of a few of these squid. Because squid gives us black ink, and that's one of the inks that's not really easy to replicate. I mean, the only way to get black ink is squid. I think you can also get black ink from wither roses, but I'm definitely not at the point where I am vaguely interested in going to go and deal with the wither. Well, I am interested in the reward for dealing with the wither though. Having a beacon would definitely be beneficial, but I told myself when I started this world, I'm not going to go for a beacon before I finished digging out this hole to bedrock. Now we are getting very close to bedrock, but I wanted to dig this out without using a beacon for the haste thingy majig. I didn't want to do this dig with haste. I wanted to finish this the hard way. Well, you can say it, I wanted to finish it the hard way. I'm not sure whether or not I have storage space down underneath for quartz. Why I'm thinking of it now is that I think we are done with the quartz, so I want to dump the quartz into the storage system. Oh, pale moss, no. I want to dump the quartz into the storage system. Just because we are done with it for now, and I think it can come back. Why is this cat always running away? I mean, is it like, I'm not... Come on, Bella, I'm not that bad, am I? Come back. Sit here. Thank you very much. Let me just drop these things off. And I'm going to... Oh, I need to... I don't know, anybody in the chat know how I can drop these full stacks out off quicker than just dragging them? I know there must be a shortcut key to do that. I don't want to use Q. Q only drops one at a time. I'm sure there's a way to drop the... Oh, never mind. I found it. It's Control C. Alright, everyone just have a look here. This is my project board. Right, so this is a few projects I've got in mind that I want to do. So we are busy with digging the pit. The animal barn is that red barn over there. That's done. That's why it's marked in green. Then valuable sorting and storage complex. That's basically what I'm busy with right now. But over here, I've got a viewer suggestion. So if any of you in the chat has any suggestions of something that you can think of I should be building in this world, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Even if you're watching this stream on the replay when the VOD goes live, please feel free to drop your ideas into the chat or into the comments. Then I'll definitely consider it. I mean, I've got quite a few more things that I can think of building in this world, but I would like to involve the viewers as well, and maybe sort of have a little build that was suggested by the viewers. Obviously, as I've been saying, don't feel pressured to post in the chat. You're absolutely more than welcome to just lurk about, just watch the stream in the background if you'd like. I do try and keep it family friendly, so honestly, if I ever do swear on a stream, that will really be the utmost exception. Personally, I don't like swearing. I have no problem with people that do swear, honestly, each to its own. But I personally don't like swearing, so as far as possible, I try to not do it. And especially not on stream. So you're welcome. If you have young ones watching with you, I will try and keep it clean, and at least let's say as clean as possible. Not going to promise that I will never swear, but I'll try to keep it as clean as possible, just to protect the young ones. You know, the young ones needs to be just considered as well. Alright, now let's just try and start getting this roof actually in here, which should now be quite easy to do now that we've actually got the base layer or the trim in. Now that the trim is in, getting the rest of the roof in should not be anything complicated. And then we can have a look. I'm not texturing the roof right now. I'm just putting these, what is it? Polished deep slate on for the roof. Once we've finished the roof, we can just stand back, have a little look to see if it's necessary to sort of do a little bit of texturing. I do believe it might be, because this roof is going to look very I don't really want to use the term boring, but it's such a long roof. I might have to just put in a few little extras just to make it look more interesting. But we'll get to that. Let's just cover this area up a little bit. Then the main objective right now is to just get to a point where I can start moving my chests out of the open. And so I guess what I'm saying with that is that we can finish this roof, very basic roof, and then we can do the floor on the inside and then start moving some chests in there. And just while we're moving the chests in, just sort them as well. Because I'm tired of, well, at some point I was saying I can go to any of the chests and find exactly what I want when I want. But the last few days I've noticed that that's not the case anymore. I think all the junk in those chests are strewn all over, and I'm simply not finding what I'm looking for. Well, not easily at least. I can still, for the most part, find what I'm looking for, but it's becoming a little bit more tricky to do so. Now this layer, are we going to just double up? The thing is, I probably don't need to. I probably don't need to double up. So we are going to put a ceiling on the inside, and I'm just thinking if I double up, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to cover this side up. So let's just do a single block or a single slab. And I know, really guys, I know this is looking very simple at the moment. It's meant to be simple, it's meant to be functional, but we will make it look nice. Don't you worry about that. We are going to figure out a way to make this look nice. I don't know why I'm doing it like that. This is much easier. All right, and then this is a bottom slab. Now I've got an idea what I want to do up here at this edge of the roof, but for now let's just continue with these bottom slabs. We will get to something different at some point to make it look nicer. All right, let's take a little look, see what you think. Now that certainly doesn't look horribly bad. I think as I say, it doesn't look horribly bad, but I think it can do with a little bit of something extra. Let's just throw the shaders. Oh wow, looking so nice in the sunset. I do like shaders, but I don't like playing with shaders. I like looking at things using shaders, but I don't particularly like playing with shaders. But they do make the world look so much nicer. But I better not stand around and wait for the ugly nightlife to spawn. Let's just go and take a little nap. And see, maybe Bella will bring us something interesting. Now, what gifts can the cat bring? Yes, I've got chicken, I've got feathers, I've got phantom membranes, I've got rabbit's feet, I've got rabbit hide as well. I think that's, and then obviously rotten flesh as well. These kitty cats seem like they do like bringing rotten flesh. And I do like, just like real cats, they seem to enjoy being on our beds. Alright, let's get back up there and finish this roof. At least finish the base design of the roof. And every time I come here, I hear that zombie. And I want to look around to see where that zombie is coming from. And then after half a second or so, I remember that zombie is down here in the old iron farm. Speaking of iron farms, let's just go and have a look at how much iron this farm has produced, because I think I've switched it on about roughly 2 hours back. So let's just have a look how much iron is in here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 stacks. So let's say about 4 stacks per hour. That's not bad. I mean, for a single player world, that's definitely not bad. Come on. Have a carrot. There, you feel better now? Gonna stop bothering me? Yeah, eat some grass. Just look at how this horse is chewing. I love these fresh animations. I think they make things look so much nicer. Anybody in the chat have any favorite mods or data packs or resource packs that they like to play with? If you feel like it, just leave a comment and let me know. And I'm always looking for something new to try out. Obviously in this world, as I said, I'm enjoying the almost like vanilla experience. So I don't want to be adding any mods that really, let's say, change the game too much. I do play with a few, and some of them do change certain aspects of the game. But generally, I'm trying to keep this world as vanilla as possible. Harry Boo, what do you want to join? This is a single player world. But you can join the chat. Let me know what you're up to. What are you currently doing in Minecraft if you do play Minecraft yourself? Like I say, everybody is welcome. Come into the chat and just say hi or just whatever. Just leave a smiley face if you want. That's also good. But as I say, unfortunately, this is a single player world. And well, nobody can join this world, as it's on my hard drive, not on a server. I have considered, however, just getting a server and putting this world online, but that would still be only for me to play. Maybe if my son wants to play with me again at some point, sort of have a family server. My wife also said she she would like to try out Minecraft at some point, but she never really, she said that, but she didn't really attempt to try playing it. And it's not that like she doesn't have the access to it. I mean, we are really a technical family, so we do have I've got two gaming laptops, so she would be able to play if she really wanted to. I just find it really interesting, or not really interesting, I find it actually very nice to see a lot of families playing Minecraft together these days. Like the parents and the children. Because I mean, if you think about it, Minecraft has been around for quite some time now. And I think it's actually, this game is getting to that point where you are starting to have people playing this game whose kids are also now at that age where they can actually play Minecraft or might be interested in playing Minecraft. And you see it more and more these days, I think, where families are actually playing this game together, and I think that's a really nice thing. This is the sort of game that families can play, and it's not really all that violent, and unless you do something you know you shouldn't be doing, it doesn't get all that violent. Come on. Let me get back in the rhythm now. Placing blocks. So yes, anyway, to any of you that do enjoy this content, over the weekends I usually stream over on Twitch. I've been over on Twitch. I've been playing a little bit of hardcore Minecraft. I'm actually just trying to get a hardcore world going. The last one, or the first time, I've only tried it twice now. The first time I actually got to day 11 before a creeper got me. And then the next time I tried it, I actually only got to day 4. Then, well, an Enderman got me, actually. And I know that's, well, a sad situation. So what happened is that I was fighting a skeleton, and for a moment, it wasn't even a second, the skeleton moved out of the way, and in the distance, an Enderman was looking at me. And for a moment, a split second, our eyes met. And the next swing I took at the skeleton, that Enderman was right there. And that ended it. Fighting Enderman with only iron armor is definitely not going to end good. Well, it's not going to do anything bad to the Enderman, actually. But it's never going to end good for the player. Those guys are powerful. They deal a lot of damage. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the wind just picked up really, really badly outside. Um, I think the microphone settings are good enough now that you shouldn't be hearing too much of it. But if you do hear the noise in the background, it's the wind. So we don't get tornadoes or anything where I live, even though maybe about, what is it, the other day there was a tornado not too far from us, maybe about, I'm trying to think, maybe 200 miles from where I live. I'm converting it correctly. Yeah, it's about 200 miles, 3 hours drive from where I live. I did see in the news they reported a tornado. That's very strange for where we live. We usually don't see things like that here. But the wind outside is pretty strong at the moment. It just, a gust came through now and it just shook everything outside. Oh. Well, it is dark. Where's that kitty cat going? Oh, that's another kitty cat. They do seem to be popping out all over the place at the moment. And I just noticed the clouds. I usually play with the Better Clouds mod enabled. And earlier today I just disabled it because for some reason the Better Clouds mod doesn't want to play nicely with most of the shader packs. So I was trying to play with the shader pack earlier, or shaders earlier, and it just bothered. The clouds just clashed with something in the shader pack and it looked funny. So I disabled Better Clouds, and now the clouds are just vanilla clouds. And I need to probably light up this area because I see I am building a mob farm in here. Let me just quickly throw a few torches about. That should do. They shouldn't be able to spawn. Well, I forgot they can't spawn. Yeah. You look, these are the only blocks they can spawn on. Haha. Gotcha. Well, I got myself as well. Anyway, let's grab a little more deep slate and just make more of these slabby slabs, or polished deep slate blocks. I do seem to like making my life difficult for myself. I should just put scaffolding on the other side of this build. But what would be the fun in that now? Making my life easy. How would that be fun? Let's see. This is in. Now I do need a row of slabs on here. And this one also needs a row of slabs. Now I'm probably going to run out of slabs. Well, I've got a full stack, so it shouldn't be a problem. Ooh, just don't run off there. Alright, then this side I also need slabs. Let's just go, because I know myself. I'm going to be running backwards, and I'm just going to run right off this roof. And obviously, as I predicted, I don't have enough slabs. That's alright. Let's just make a few. 2 stacks should be more than enough. And up we go again. Oh, it's like, you know what? Whenever I say something and that zombie comes with his, it's like he's agreeing with me. I mean, it's nice to have somebody agree with you every now and then. Or, well, whether they agree or not, I can say they agree. Because, I mean, who knows what they are saying? Come on. Don't be like that. I asked very nicely not to be like that. Alright, let's just double check. Is this now good? I do like that. I don't know. Any comments? I like that. I think it came about really nicely. So we aren't going to need to fill in those walls. That shouldn't be too complicated to do, I think. Just put a few iron bars in there and make it look, well, maybe not put iron bars in there. Maybe I can put something more valuable, or maybe I can put stone. I'm going to need to think about that. Going to need to think about how we're going to make this place look a little better. But it's coming, like I said, I just need to do the base building first. Then we can worry about the decorations a little later. So with this build being this far now, let's quickly consider what's next. So I do want to do the floor. I haven't quite decided yet. Are we going to go with the dark oak logs, strip dark oak logs for the floor? Because I mean, on the one hand, I do want it to look kinda nice on the inside, but we have to remember this whole build is just, it's just safe storage for all the bits and bobs that we are collecting throughout this world. Now on the top floor, I want to maybe store the gold and the iron and the diamonds and all those valuable items. In the bottom floor, we can store all the other odds and ends. We can maybe have the like the mob drops and the crops and seeds that we are saving, because this crop farm over here, it does produce all the crops. I mean, it does have wheat, potatoes, carrots, beetroot. We've got a little pumpkin and melon farm hidden away down there, which I was considering making another layer of the pumpkin and melon farm, but we are simply gathering so much pumpkin and melons. I don't use it. It's this tower here is, well, I wouldn't say it's filling up, because this has got quite the capacity. I cannot remember what the capacity is. I don't know whether I've got notes here. I mean, just check something. If you stick with me, you just see if I've got the notes here. I know when I was building it, I was calculating. Yes, here it is. So this tower has the capacity to store roughly almost about 30,000 of each crop. Now that's going to take a hell of a time to fill up, don't you think? And then over there where that barrel is, I was thinking of building a little fisherman's dock out here. A dock that will be dual purpose. We'll be able to use it for fishing, but we'll also be able to connect it with the dock on this island. I'm imagining we can build quite a nice settlement or base on this island. And then I've got plans for this village as well, to totally transform this village. If you care to look up the Cape Malay building style, that's a little there's a neighborhood in Cape Town, South Africa, where you've got the little Cape Malay section. They've got these colorful houses in that little neighborhood, and I want to do something like that over at the village. But anyway, let's, before I finish off the stream for the night, let's quickly have a look. I do have plenty of dark oak logs. So let me just grab a stack and see, are we going to just do like a border over here? I do have a few bricks with me. Let's quickly fix this. And just put some stone bricks in here. Then this is the center line. So I want to try and do a little bit of a sort of a floor design here. Let's just fix this up. So then we will do oak logs, just not like that. Alright, I guess it's fine for the cat to hang around us. I do believe cats prevent, or cats scare creepers. So it's probably a good thing to have the kitty cat around. Let's see, skip one, skip one, skip one, skip one. Okay, so let's do this as well. Just to kind of section off the floor. Then skip one, then this one. Yes, Zombert, you can just stay where you are. Get this in and then skip one and then... So you can just strip these logs. I think this is going to look halfway sort of interesting. Definitely looking better than nothing, looking better than the dirt floor. And why are those windows open? You see, I get so ahead of myself that I didn't even put iron bars in those windows, which I probably should just quickly do before it slips my mind again. Let's go and throw these bars in the windows. Now from the inside, I don't think we will... Well, maybe. So now I'm thinking. If we should maybe put the same in here as well. Let's do that. Let's get the dark oak logs in here as well. Now the next question I have is, should we fill these areas in with a different log, or should we stick with the dark oak? That's the million-dollar question for right now. Because I've been thinking, come on Bella, get up from there. Yes, come on, get out there. Come on, Bella. Don't get stuck in there. Meow, come on. I wanna finish the floor. Now you wanna sit there. What are you doing there? Are you attracted to the zombie? I thought you've got a thing for creepers, not zombies. Yes, I can hear you. Ah, thank you. Thank you for getting out of there. Hmm? Must I make you sit? Huh? Don't force me. Yeah. Well. Let's see, do I... Yeah, have a piece of fish. And I almost used the wrong pickaxe to pick up my ender chest now. Now I do have enough resources to make another one if I have to, but I don't really want to. You know, the nether is a scary place and I don't have a lot of blaze rods. I'm surely not planning to go to the nether anytime soon, even though I would like to at some point. Well, you're hearing this a lot. I would like to at some point. But anyway, here it is. I would like to at some point go to the nether and gather some netherite or ancient debris so that we can make netherite and actually upgrade our tools. Now in the 14 odd years I've played Minecraft, I've never had netherite in survival. Can you believe that? Yes, you can. If you've been following me for a while and looking at the way that I play the game, I have to say in one of my previous worlds, I went probably over 1,000 days using only iron. So me not having netherite, I guess isn't a strange thought. So I'm liking this. Now the question is, am I going to fill this in with a different wood type, or am I going to just stick with the dark oak? Maybe this main walkway I can make a little bit thicker. Just grab a little bit more and finish this off. Alright, kitty, come on, let's go to bed before the nightlife comes. Okay, Rainen, you can stop now as well. Thank you very much. And kitty, now just sit on the bed. Stay on the bed, please. Right, she brought me a feather this time, which is better than nothing. Now, have a look here. All these feathers came from our kitty cat. All these rabbit hide came from our kitty cat, as well as the rabbit's foot, and I can prove it. Right, I can prove it. Statistics, mobs. There's no rabbits here. You see? I haven't killed a single rabbit in this world. And then, also all the All the phantom membranes. And see, I've never dealt with the phantom either. Well, to be honest, I've only killed 76 cows. I've almost killed more creepers than cows, and I don't even have a creeper farm. Glow squid 50, because they do like to spawn down there in the pit. Villagers 46, because they do like to walk around. And skeletons, okay, we've got the skeleton spawner farm, so skeletons will be a lot. Squid 58, 167 zombies. Well, that's interesting. Let's just check items dealt. Net times mined. 55,000 stone and 28,000 deep slate. And that's simply because I haven't broken any tools yet. Nice. Anyway, let's finish this floor. You see, I get distracted so easily. I just do want to finish this floor, figure out what I'm going to do with the floor. But then it's also starting to get a little bit late for me. I have a full-time job and I am working tomorrow, and it's just about past 1:45 at the moment. I need to wake up at 6 AM, so midnight's already not giving me much time for sleep. And you know, when I'm done here, going to go to bed. And then obviously what happens when you go to bed? You switch on the TV or a cell phone or a tablet or something, and before you go to sleep you just catch some YouTube, like those of you still left in the chat are probably currently doing right now. Alright, now these areas, I'm thinking let's just do this for a test. So I'm thinking maybe I can use dark oak planks. Let's just see what this looks like. Dark oak planks. Isn't spruce maybe going to look better? I don't have any. Oh, that's dark oak. Got some spruce slabs. So I don't know why I'm using full blocks. Which is going to look better, the dark oak or the spruce? Decisions. Always decisions in this game. Alright, here's what we'll do. I think we'll go with the dark oak. I'm going to make slabs. Let's be a little bit let's look after our resources a little bit better and use slabs. I'm just gonna make slabs with all of this. Let's hope it's enough. Alright, everyone, listen, if I do go a little bit quiet at times, I have said it earlier, but I think maybe you haven't been in the stream when I said it. But I do feel like I'm this, maybe I'm starting to develop a cold or something. My throat is really not holding up very nicely. But not to worry, I'll just push through it. But every now and then I might just go a little bit quieter. Just give my voice a little bit of a rest. My throat a little bit of a rest. It is quite scratchy at the moment. Which is bothersome. It's really not cool. It does sort of... It comes and goes. It's not like my throat's really sore. But it is a little bit scratchy, and it's sometimes when I'm talking a lot it becomes a little bit uncomfortable. I think that's the right word. Uncomfortable. Not really sore. More just uncomfortable. I'm really going to have to deal with these guys down here at some point as well. Alrighty, last little bit. Obviously, I will collect all the dirt because I'm not one to waste resources. I might need, well, I am going to need the dirt anyway. And then we can just start filling in. Yes, I think the dark oak planks is going to do the job just perfectly. Now this warehouse is going to be a little bit, maybe a little big for the plans I've got for it. Because we will have a double chest here, like so. And then we'll have a lot of space in the middle of the floor, which I don't really know. I don't have any particular plan as to what I'm going to do with the space. Now, usually when I do any builds, I usually make them too small. Now, in this case, I think this one might be a little big for my plans. But this is our main storage room, so I guess the main storage room can never be too big. We'll store everything in here except for the stone items, which we are filtering and storing down below. But we will have to figure out a nice way to sort these items. I'm not going to do... I was at one point thinking of doing an auto sorter setup, but currently with all the offers and things I've used down below, I don't want to be putting any auto sorters here up top, because those ones down at the bottom is already killing my frame rate. Some point it drops down to just about 30 frames per second. Now I am limiting my frames to 70. I'm streaming on 60 frames per second. When I'm recording on 60 frames per second. So I honestly don't see the need to go higher than that. To me, when Minecraft isn't the sort of game where I need 120 frames per second or 144 frames per second. And since I'm streaming at 60, I simply don't see the need to up the frame rates. So close to having enough. But as always with Minecraft, you never have enough when you think you've got enough. Alrighty, so the warehouse is looking good. The warehouse is looking good. It's looking like it's coming together. And I'm quite happy with it. Let's do this. Well, it is dark. Oh, there's a spider already. I better take a nap. But this warehouse is looking really nice at the moment. I think this world is going to, within the next week, this world is going to take a turn and start looking really awesome. Thank you so much for that. Well, let's go and sleep down here where nobody can bother me. Because now I'm going to need to deal with all those nasty mobs up there. Not like I'm scared, I'm just not looking at that bloody Enderman. Jeez! How many things did spawn in that short amount of time? Huh. Thank you for your service. Come on. Oh, at least we don't have any creepers here. Alright everyone, so I think while I enjoy a good carrot, a golden carrot, and fire my bow unnecessarily, I think that's it for the stream for today. But before we go, let's just have a final little look. Just have a little look at the world so far. So on this side we've got our little bone meal farm. There's a little bit of a campsite on top, but if we go through these doors down below, this is our little skeleton spawner in there. They drop in here. We've got an auto sorter, we've got an auto crafter using the bones, making bone blocks and all that. Then over here is our barn. So this barn has got our sheep farm, and it looks like my shears are all done, but with the shears being done, my barrels down here should be pretty full of each color of wool. This is just a little farmhouse I built. It was meant to be the villager breeder, but then I started getting into decorating, and then after decorating there was no more space for the villager breeder, so the villager breeder had to come downstairs. As I said, this is our little crop storage area with almost space for just about, I think I said 30,000 crops of each one. We've got our little farmers market where we come to trade the crops for emeralds and experience. And then we've built our little warehouse today. And now, did a skeleton actually spawn up here? Well, stupid of him, because the sun took care of him pretty quickly, I would assume. But anyway, guys, for those of you that stuck with it for the whole stream, I do thank you very much. Remember, if you would like to stay up to date when I go live, remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all those things, share it with your friends if you've got any friends that you think might be interested in watching me do what I do. Let them know. And if you would like to, memberships is open. You can join as a channel member. At the moment, that's just to support me on my journey. Nothing special about it. It's purely just for support at the moment. In the future, I will maybe do something nice and I'm thinking of at some point getting a server up where my supporters can actually play Minecraft with me, but that's sometime in the far future. With that being said, thank you so much. You can hear my voice is going now. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Remember, tomorrow evening I'll be streaming on Twitch, or that's the plan. Hardcore Minecraft. I am trying to get a world started and actually survive the first, let's say, 20 days on Hardcore Minecraft. I will see you guys next time. Enjoy your weekend and goodbye.